My Friday is hilarious. Funny, huh? Funny. Yeah, yeah. My boss is insane. Uh, yeah, you know. We got some interns. It was like one of those what's great. It's one of those very hard to do on a day when you're like, guys, this whole thing is falling apart around us. So so you just like there's really nothing for you to do or to learn because they're basically stripping the company for parts right now. And you're like, so there's no shoots for the rest of the week, and they just sold the franchise film that we had. So that's yeah. It's like today itself was fine. Like a week, I did not know that we sold. It's Hollywood, baby. Uh, how was your Friday? It sounds like you had a good dinner. Uh-huh. Uh, yeah. And it's all like bleached flour and all just like yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Or you can get a really good banh mi or some really tasty, yeah. Yeah, not exactly the same. You ain't got to tell the same stuff. Okay. Like high school level. You're like, okay. Yeah. Right. Well, you know, you have taste. You have more. way. you know, no. So shit's fucking crazy. But I don't know, man. But I'm glad your dad is a. I'm glad your dad sees a. But also, I feel like Taiwan would. Anyone from Taiwan would get that shit. You're like, oh, I know I know what colon is. I see colonization when I see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you never know with these fucking boomers, dude. Oh yeah, no. 48 is that's some real ass boomer shit. Speaking of like crazy shit that comes out of boomer mouth that you're just like, what? How is reality real? There was a Q and A with Francis Coppola before the movie played, and the it was pretty. It got real wacky real quick because it was him, Robert De Niro, and Spike Lee, and then this this very intimidated Asian man who like you could see the microphone shaking in his hand where it's like, Francis, you know what I mean? You're like, oh dude, I'm so sorry, you're so nervous. Like he's just so clearly intimidated by this like massive panel of people in front of him. Um, it was hilarious. But the thing that it ended on was because De Niro brought up Donald Trump and it was like, Donald Trump could never make this movie. And Francis Coppola tells a story. He's like, fun fact actually, we were in the same military academy at the same time. And yeah. So apparently, him and Donald Trump went to the same like military academy, but Trump was in like the fancy barracks where he was like, "Oh yeah, no, they had their electricity on all night." Like I was in the bunk. He's like, "I was a few years ahead of him, but I was in the bunk where our electricity got turned off at like 6 o'clock or whatever." He's like, "Nah, but not Donald. Like he had the electricity all night." It's just one of those things where you're like, I can't even like, how insane is that? You know what I mean? Like it's 19 whatever, and you're just like, I'm growing up with fucking this motherfucker. You've come across him in the military academy, and it's now 2024, and this douchebag is still in your life. You know what I mean? You're just like, he's like, you're just like, I'm Francis Coppola, man. I'm pretty good at what I do. Can we not talk about like you're just like, this fucking guy won't get out of my face, man. Oh God, madness. Oof. I mean, this is the thing to use that as a segue. This is exactly what I find so depressing about talking to Hans, because he's just like constantly just like I I have been like, yeah, like dude, you're talking to two people that have spent the last 6 years of our lives doing nothing but like digging into the worst shit so that we can get the fuck. Yeah, yeah, and he refused to acknowledge it in like any kind of way, and you're just like, and he refuses to see that there's like any agency. That's why I was like, dude, you're a grown ass man. Like, stop. Like, be a grown up and take control of the situation you're in, or like, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man, but like, you sound pathetic, and it's just one of those like, I don't like, how do I tell you this? And yeah, and you're just like this. It's like the ultimate Gen X shit. You know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, like, dude, like, you have to fucking try something? he just refuses to be like anything can be like. You're just like, can you be uncomfortable about anything? You're like, dude, I woke up at 5 a.m. for I don't even know how long to drive Lyft. You know what I mean? You're just like, I had no choice. Like I. No, no, and he like every time you try to like gently, like remotely get to him, and he's just like, "Oh, that's dumb," and you're like, "Okay, man, of course it's dumb." Yeah, okay, well, you're right. So then just don't do anything, and I guess
Something has infected one of my scout corpses.
no, you're not married, and oh yeah, no, she just doesn't want to deal with this, and it is a lot. And but like neither of them really want to deal with it, and I get where Chio's coming from completely, but like it's just like the thing with Hanzo is you're just like, dude, like she just wants you to figure some shit out. She doesn't need you to like just figure out how to be a person, dude. And you're just like, no, nope. Yes. Oh, he knows. Yes. And it's like you you I feel really bad, but at the same time you're also just like, dude, like you've done like what like you've always said like you've never even known him to have a job. You know what I mean? Like right. And like I just don't even know. Oh shit. Uh this is return. I'm trying. Yeah, I completely ruined it. I know, it's so bad. Ooh, good to know. The Steve Dar? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll put that on there. There's some good Steves. There's some good Steves out there. Yeah. It is. It is. It is. It is Dork Love. And, you know, you just like, oh, God, keep doing it. Why won't this thing down? I am a girl. I am Brienne of Tarth. Yeah. She's a big girl. Yeah, you don't wanna fucks with her. Did you finish it? Yeah. it's it, it's oh my god. Yeah. I I feel I think right now I'm more of a Tom, but I sympathize heavily with Greg. Like Greg is just someone like every time he shows up and he just like he doesn't know what's happening and then somehow he like comes out on top. He's so conniving. And I don't really think I'm that conniving, but I do often think I am that clever. And a lot of times, like, I think if I ever made myself way to the top of anything, I would completely feel, I'd be like, I committed. No, not even, I know, I don't even feel that way anymore. What I feel like is, I suckered somebody. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. And like, I'm like, to me, it's like one of those things. I'm like, I was not supposed. Like, if that happens, I'd be like, I wasn't supposed to be here, and I'm gonna do everything I can to say like, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is to me, that's the mentality. And like Greg, the thing I love about like Greg as a character is he's always just like, yo, man, like whatever's fucking right, you know, like what do we got to do? And what does Greg need? You know, it's got to take care of old Greg. Yeah, how do we take care of old Greg? And they're always like, you know what? You're right. How do we take care of old Greg? And you're like, exactly. Yes. 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 Dan would say, my brother-in-law would say that. He would be like, oh, I'm Kendall. Nice. Okay, I figured it out. I did not know how to. There's like a something with a defensive shield, and I did not know. It took me a while to figure out how to kill. Oh, can I shoot this? Oh, I can shoot it. Next week is going to be pretty cool because I fly out Wednesday and to DC, and we're going to I'll see Aria. Yo, I'm so excited to go to a wedding with Aria, and like, yo, in fucking. So it's with her, like, one of her high school besties who she used to, like, rage with, who is now a bartender. And he married up, because they're getting married, no, late fella. He's a hooligan. So Aria's on the groom's side. And so the groom is marrying up, though, and the wedding is happening at Lincoln's cottage. So it is. It's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes north of the White House. So it's like one of those things where you're like, oh, this was a cottage in the country when it was built, but now it's just like a park north of the Capitol. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of situation. You're like, okay. I looked at the photos. The place looks fucking stunning. But of course, the whole weekend is like we're doing this on Saturday and this on Sunday, and you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna be one of these weekends. Uh, but yeah, but it's gonna be great. I'm excited. I got because the thing that drives me crazy on these trips, especially because we usually end up like seeing our family for like a week, it's just like I don't know how to deal with being like if I don't have a job, like I'm used to going to a place for 12 hours and working. Yeah. Do is there like a thing we can do? There's not a thing. Okay. I'm like, all right, all right. So, but what I figured out was we've regrouped. And last year, her father, Julian, was like, Steve, I've got all these old slide photos. I would love to like digitize them, but I don't know how. And I was like, all right, let me think about it. So I figured all that out. And now I can be like, now let's set up a computer so we can digitize all your photos. So now that could be the thing of like, we have a project. We're going to work on the project. And if the project, if we can't work on it, that's fine. But if we can, that's what because just if it's like, we're just sitting around having breakfast, I'd be like, nope, I'm going to say something crazy. I don't know what I'm going to say, but old Steve's just going to be like, I read too many things on the internet. You know what I mean? You're like, I can't be around boomer parents for 7 mornings. That's crazy. I need a hobby. I need a project. All right, let's open this door. Ooh, we got. Oh, Michelle. I mean, ooh, insufficient ovules. Okay. So I think it's a okay. I'm not laughing. I smoke weed. Um, but um, I don't think it is. I think it is inherently a problematic statement. I don't think it's a good thing to say. I also think it is something that a lot of men are oblivious and idiots. And oh yeah, I think, and again, I think if there was anything else, I'll put it this way: a strike is a strike, and if he fucked up, fuck him. Like I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like go. I, no, yes, and I agree. Yes, completely. It's the same reason why like it drives me extra insane with Hanzo. And you're like, Hanzo, you own a house. You're older than us. Why do you think like you got everything over us, dude? No, absolutely. It's a there. Yeah, completely. The thing and that's the your emphasis on joy is exactly the problem because like he does not have he just lacks any satisfaction and you're just like dude like why do you think anyone would want to be around you like this just sucks. Ooh, Brother, ooh.
I have to try harder.
Right. You still have to stroke his ego for the rest of the fucking night and be like, oh my god, it was so good. No. And like, dude, like, why don't you make a fucking album, dude? Make an album. And like, well, I think we were all like very, no, we were all really kind of being just like genuinely sympathetic of like, dude, everything is fucked with all the COVID shit and everything. And you're like, dude, it's almost 2025. And I get it that like you didn't really know what the fuck to do, but also like, what are you doing? What do you wake up and think about? Like, dude, walking a dog and feeding Chio is not like, no, dude, you don't, that's not like, and Chio, right. It's always nothing, and it's always like, oh my god, I can't even deal with this. And you're like, we know you can't deal with it, but like, you should try to think that maybe you could. Yeah, dude, like, I couldn't really deal with 24 psychopaths in my car every day, but I did. Yeah, and like, you just fucking, you grow as a person. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, figure it out. And yeah, and like it just is very like I wanted I just wanted to see him feel like comfortable enough to be like, okay, this is the thing I did and I'm proud of it or I like it. And you're just like, it's nothing. And you're just like, you don't know. It's very sad. Very sad. And that's where like I think I've said this to you before, but like there's a lot of you know, there's a lot of shit I've talked about Ashley. She's not completely wrong about a lot of the things. She knew Hanzo was a piece of shit, and please. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. if sh oh oh yes, completely dead to rights. She knows men. She knows men very well. What she doesn't know is women. Yes. Doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. And it is. She's not dumb. She's just a fucking bitch. Mm-mm. Yeah. And you're like, that's why? And she's just like, yeah, fuck you. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean? No. Yeah. That. I do. It's just someone who has no like. As someone who created a lot of chaos and made a lot of people's life in various capacities for various reasons, movies or projects or whatever. It's very hard and very painful. Like I never really did it maliciously, but I do feel like there's so many things. I'm like, you did that maliciously, you did that maliciously, you did that maliciously, and that is where you're just like, yo, man. Like I'm not saying I have not been a fucking cunt or a prick or like I have been. Like I have been a motherfucker. But like there is a yeah, like there's a difference, man. There's levels to this shit, man. And
Discovered a strange
but yeah,
device that is already active. It feels alive. I'm not receiving any information when scanning.
yeah. No. And it's also just like one of those things where you just go like, oh, you know what? Like, fuck you. Like, this, they were a piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay. Yeah. And you're just like, they were being a piece of shit, and that's what happened. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, time to move on. And that's what it is. And like, the thing that I think is, you know, with the Hanzo thing, is it's just like, he's someone who insists to be like, oh my god, I have no agency or no control. Like, I haven't had a new phone in forever. I haven't had this. I haven't had this. And you're just like, bro, like, I don't know. You own a house. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. Yeah, like you just did not prioritize that, and that's fine, and like that's cool, but like, You're not someone who we're like, oh my god, can we help you get it? Like, you're just like, what? What is happening? I don't know. He's ridiculous. It's a cult of one. I hate how fucking accurate it is. Yeah, and it's like and you pinpointed this shit too, where it's like his whole thing where he's like, I happen to know the one good thing. You know what I mean? And he'll never fucking. But he also never fucking says it. You know what I mean? He's like, I have the one. I'm listening to it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. And you're like, okay, dude. Like, we're glad you are listening to your U2 record, and I don't know what to tell you, man. But like, rock out with your fucking random ass U2 record, man. Uh huh. Oh yeah. He doesn't. No, he'd be like, I'm good. I'm good. But he just won't. Like he needs to go. He needs to go. And the only thing that might make him go is if his when his mom dies, not if when. Um, I can't stand like the thing I need. The thing that I can't stand, and the way that I want to kind of like put this to him, but I just like I know it would devastate him is like Hanzo. If someone was reading this text thread and didn't know who you were, they would think that you just are pro-Trump for the way that you regurgitate this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just such a he just says the thing. He's always like, "Can you believe they said this?" And you're like, oh, "Yeah, dude, we know. Of course, we know what they're saying." You know what I mean? You're just like, "What?" Like, yeah, and you're just like, "I know," and that's where it's like you're overstimulated. Like, and I'm just like, he's like, "Oh, I see a piece of information. This is significant." And you're like, Hanzo, at this point, you've been in two homes in this entire country for the last 9 months. Okay, you've been in your own home and your parent and your sister's home. Like, let's not. It's just like he's always like, whatever I see, it speaks to exactly the doom that I know is inevitable. You know what I mean? You're just like Hanzo, like stop fucking. It's just it's so exhausting, and you just are like, I don't know. I try not to be a dick, but every once in a while, you're just like, I need to fucking tell you to just shut the fuck up. Like, it's just insane. Well, and also, it's like, Hanzo, let's break down your career. You worked for Urban Outfitters for maybe a decade. That's being generous. But, like, let's give them a decade. And then you worked for Nike for a few years. And you then, like, met Chio and got to be a stay-at-home Hanzo. No. And it's like, and that's it. You're like, bro, you're telling me you've been reading this text thread the whole time, and this is what? You, bro, dude, you come in here with that? Like, okay, are we supposed to roast you for this? I don't really know what you want from us here because I'm just like confused. No, and he wants no more joy, and that's why he doesn't want to go to therapy. And it's like okay, we both are very pessimistic about the election, right? But he realist, absolutely. But like his insistence of like, and this is also why I'm like partly like over spamming the group with just like dumb Republican failure shit. It's because, but like he's always like, they have a plan, everything's going to work, and you're like, could you just shut the fuck up? Like they're morons. They're they're buffoons. Stop gassing them up. I'm like, you fucking German American. Stop saying they're gonna win. You're a German American. Fuck, man. And it's just like, you're just like, bro, I want you to not suck, but you have to not suck to not suck. Yeah. She was amazing. She was the greatest thing that ever happened to him, without a doubt. I just like, and this is like one. Okay, uh, to this is where honestly, um, if the world was not fucked, the the combination of me and Tim is what you need to get Hanzo to go to therapy because he needs he needs some titties in the background, and then he needs, yes, just a little bit of titties to get him excited to remind to like be alive. But then he needs to like smoke cigarettes with Tim and I in in the back, and then for us to be like, therapy worked. We both spent a lot of time in it. You should do it. And then he would be like, you know what? You know what? You know what? Chio. Hey, Chio. Uh, it's I if I didn't think the world was actually good. also like you don't know the deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of truth to that, and that does work for a lot of people. Like, but for some, like sometimes the right people pull it off. Like, uh, not always, and more often than not, they don't. And more often than not, it's not the right people trying to do it. I'm not trying to advocate for it. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's like the oh, man, like the situation. I'm so it was very funny watching Megapolis, knowing that like we submitted the Altar Boy script to Coppola's like company because I was like watching it. I was like, the more I watched it, I was like, yeah, if anyone's gonna, I was like, if there's one production company, I, I think he's, I think, I think we went to the right. Like we didn't go to Fox. You know what I mean? You're like, this is not a Fox picture. We didn't, and you're just like, all right. Like I think it's gonna be weird. I think, and I'm not. It's just one of those things. I'm like, I think it's a weird script. I'm very happy with it. Very proud of it. But I know that it's like basically the way that the rules are written is there's going to be a team of readers and they're going to pick the finalists and then the readers and Francis are going to choose from the finalists who the winner is. And so I'm like, all right. I'm like, February 10th is when it is announced. Yes. So Merkel and I, because we know we're going to go fucking insane thinking about this, um, uh, we basically are writing, we're writing a script of another movie we came up with a long time ago. I think I told you this idea, but it's called Your Special Day Productions. Yeah. And it's about like writing it's a rom-com set. But so that's we're going to write that rom-com and our goal in February so that like you can basically be like, because like Alder Boys is it's at least a $10 million because it's got like we got that punch. But we want to basically be like, here's a really cheap script that we could shoot right now. And then we'll do Altar Boy. Or whatever you want to do. Hey. It's there's the other crazy thing that's happening, right, is YouTube, and one of the YouTubers we work with, Michelle Carre, who, shout out Michelle's, because Michelle's are great. Yeah, love Michelle. You would love Michelle. She's dope as fuck. Yeah, she does, do you remember that show Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe? So she kind of does like a YouTube version of that show, and she'll do like, uh, she'll do like an FBI agent thing. She'll do like but she does like more extreme things. They're less common jobs and more extreme jobs. And she'll do like circus acts and like I tried this for a day, or I wanted to do this. But she's really trying to make her channel more into like a Netflix show. And so they're trying to like rejigger Netflix to look more like, or sorry, to redesign YouTube to be able to look like Netflix. Because YouTube is currently still bigger than Netflix. So if YouTube could turn into Netflix by people then fuck you, Netflix. We're gonna just like, put our movies onto YouTube and say, go fuck yourself. And so that is kind of like, I don't know exactly how and when I want to push into that, but that's one of those like, I'm like, we can make movies very quickly. They don't like, let's, yeah, I'm like, if there's one thing I know how to, I'm like, I've shot 18 pages in a day. Like, you want pages, baby? Let's go. Like, YouTube, you want movies? Let's go, bitch. So, I just, and yeah, and it's like the thing to me, right, is like all this AI shit, and the thing I keep saying to like all my friends is I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I'm like, where is it? No, no. Fucking Francis Ford Coppola put out Megapolis before I saw an open AI movie. Where's this fucking movie? Francis Ford Coppola's in his 70s. You're telling me the robots can't beat Francis? It's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash. And it's just one of those things where you go like, can't. Well, like, not only that, even if the images are perfect, there's no way that you can deliver The Godfather to everybody every night. You know what I mean? You get a Godfather once in a generation. You're telling me you're open AI and you get to, then it's like, all right, well, why can't I see The Godfather again? Why can't I see The Godfather again? And you're like, well, the robots aren't good enough. You're like, well, when will they be good enough? And you're just like, this is bullshit. Like, you can't stop that bullshit. Anyway, you know. All right. So, you finish the session. Are you watching anything else? Oh, that's what you moved into. Mhm. Yeah, like the number Arrested Development really is that show where people who did watch it, you can tell. Yeah. And then people are like, what do you mean? And you're like, oh, you just haven't seen Arrested Development. That's fine. I think it was pretty abrasive. I think abrasive isn't a bad word. It's yeah, I mean, it was oh man. I mean like that era oh boy, something real quick. Um, that era 30 Rock the thing about 30 Rock is like it's an experiment in like how many jokes like every line is supposed to be a joke. You know what I mean? And it's like that kind of an effort. And I get why people are like, I don't understand what's happening, but you're just like, it's just nonstop jokes. Like, how do we make the jokes more jokier? And it gets exhausting after a while, but uh, there is, like you said, it's again that's abrasive. I get that. It's definitely of its time. Yeah, I mean, like So do you know about all the stuff with like, uh, I mean, we haven't even talked about all the Diddy shit, but like, did you hear? Do you know about all the stuff with? I want me to know so many things. Um, uh, with Jimmy Fallon and Horatio Sands. Did you hear about any of that stuff? Yeah, yeah. And like one of those things of like, it doesn't surprise me because like at the time you're just like, oh yeah, of course, because Diddy was also doing all this shit. People are just like, oh yeah, that's normal. Horatio Sands and Jimmy Fallon are just like, they invited teens from Tumblr, and you're like, yeah, that's yeah, this is building a fan base, right? Oh, God. What's happening? Oh boy, jumping into another thing. But but yeah, the fucking. Have you watched any of the Jaguar Wright videos? Do you know anything about this woman, Jaguar Wright? So, Jaguar Wright is a. She was like a hip hop artist in like the early Mace P Diddy days. Uh, she dated. I forget who she dated, but she dated someone like Mace or someone in the Mace area. Um, and then, but anyway, she's been saying crazy ass shit for years on the internet about how bad Diddy is. And obviously, this week has been pretty good for her. So now everyone's like, Jaguar, right? You know, is she correct? Is, you know, and it's like, well, she's pretty correct. But she's also pretty crazy and pretty. You're like, is she? She's also not wrong. She's not wrong. I can't say she's incorrect about a lot of things. So it's just one of those things where you're like, yo, what is happening? But the thing, so her crazy story, what she's alleging is going to come out next. And again, obviously, this is just crazy shit from the internet. But her story is that Jay-Z had a mistress, or Puff Daddy and Jay-Z both were involved in killing a mistress who was going to come out as like pregnant with Jay-Z's baby. Right? 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 It's like one of those things where you're like, doesn't sound too. Yeah, I'm like, and then like all the other weird thing is apparently like there's like 4 people connected to Puff Daddy who all died of pneumonia. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, and you're just like, oh, this is like the level of the level of bad on this is, oh, like this is so. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is real bad. Mm. Did you hear the Usher shit? So the Usher shit is nuts. Okay, I don't know how accurate this is. So the Usher shit, the way this apparently breaks down is Puff Daddy was desperately trying to get Bieber signed, right? Couldn't do it. His family was like, no, we don't like you. We just are not into you. So Usher already has a very bad history with P. Diddy. We don't need to go into. And so, but P. Diddy says, hey, Usher, why don't you go help your boy Jay Bieber? And he does. And then he says, hey, Puff Daddy, you can have, and he gets parental custody of Mr. Bieber. Yeah. And then And then he gave Bieber to P Diddy for 48 hours, and this is like on camera. It's bad. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I did not. This is all news to me as far as like I did not know this about Bieber and Puff Daddy. I didn't know that. I was like to me Bieber was just like another random. I didn't know any of this. So I was like, oh Bieber, I am sorry. I knew you went through some shit. I just didn't know what you went through. But yeah, fucking Usher set him up according to but I mean doesn't seem impossible. Seems bad though. Seems bad. It's so sad. It's it's the logic to me that I've come up with in terms of just like trying to understand it. And again, like it's psychopath shit. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's not. There's nothing. But like what it comes down to me is like this is a thing of people who go. The rules don't apply to me, and no, I've proven that every other rule doesn't apply to me. What's the one taboo in society that I'm not supposed to do? I have to do it. And that to me is like where, you know what I mean? They're like, what am I not supposed to do? Well, then I have to do it because clearly I have to do it. And I don't know to what degree that's what it is, but it feels partly that's what it is. I don't know. Like, what? And like, whatever. Maybe it's disease or some bullshit, but there was a conversation in a Discord the other day where we were like talking about politics, and you know, it was just I was like, I just wanted to bring up and remind everybody. I was like, you do know that like the right wing used left violence heavily in the 60s to assassinate a lot of people, and that has established the political ground. Like, we have to remember that like the reason this exists the way it does is because we can name at least 5 or 6 people off the top of our heads who were fucking assassinated, and we can all be like, they just died, but like they didn't just die, guys. They were killed by the right wing. However you want to describe that. Like, they fucking assassinated them. And they don't have a problem doing that when they think it's necessary. And so, like, bro, and when it happens, they just look the other way and they don't give a shit. And you just go like, guys, and then you hear them like act like total fucking bitches about all this Trump shit. And you're just like, dude, you're asking for this. You have reaped violence. What are you talking? And no, and it's just like, guys, like, and I'm like, I hate to bring it back to Hanzo, but it's just like, you sound like a little bitch every time you talk about your family, and you're just like sitting here and being like, yeah, my family's fascists, what can I do? And you're like, you're the only one. You're the literal only one who can do anything, bro. What? You think anyone else is gonna do anything? Like, you're the only person who can convince them that what is happening is wrong. and you're just going like, I'm gonna sit here and watch it and do nothing. You're like, okay, dude, cool, great for you. Weren't you in a band called I Hate You? That was the name of your band? Is that the name of your band called I Hate You? What was the name of your band? It was, and the genre you worked in was called hardcore. Hardcore. You're a so you're a hardcore artist. Got it. Interesting. Very interesting. It's very interesting. Woo! Still a moving target. We will probably not have Thanksgiving together. Um, we're gonna have a chat. We're gonna have a chat. And like the thing that I haven't done yet that I need to do is just be like, in the last 12 months, this is how much time we've gotten to spend together. And like, I, and like, it's way too much. And the way that I've put it to her is I was like, look, you've guaranteed this family to an extent like 6 months, right? And I'm like, everything after 6 months, I'm like, the next week after that should cost a month. And then the next week after that should cost another month. And then after a month of it costing a month, like, because I'm like, if someone takes 6 months out of your year, you have to then recover from that and then also try to live some semblance of your own life. Like, and this isn't, I'm just like, look, like, this is just for you as a person. I'm like, look, yes, I love you. I want to spend time with you, but like, you deserve to be a person beyond your job. Like, don't let these motherfuckers just fill you with a bank account and then you're fucking done. Like, don't do that. Live your life. Exactly. And you're just like, dude, like, you don't know how much time you fucking have. And like, none of us do. And that's just that thing where you go like, look, like, and I honestly expected her to quit. I really expected her to quit coming into the fall. Uh, yeah. And so that was like a, okay, okay. Trying to, again, I heard her here about what she's most excited about is getting to actually do her job to raise a kid. And she's like, look, I'm getting to do my job. I'm getting to actually do this thing, but I don't really, I've not really helped. Like, that's amazing. I don't think that's skates, pool, something like it was great, and like I went to a place, and like sure, it wasn't the greatest apartment, whatever. I didn't care about that. That was look, but like it was fine. But I was like, this is great, and like we got down, we had a great time. But her fucking cat woke me up, and I was like, nope, nope, no, no, and no cats, man. And I was just one of those things. I was like, I hate your bed, and it was one of those things. I was like, you should, but you're in the 30s. You should not be willing to sleep on this bed. I don't like the cat, and I was like, this combination. I was like. The problem with both that is that we're not morons, um, and so and like when you like the number of people, there's a couple others like the first dates where you're just like, I'll put these. It's just sweet summer children. That is the catch-all fuck. You know what I mean? You're just like sweet summer child. I do not have the next 6 years to spend as you grow up. You know what I mean? You're just like, I'm not. No, man. Like, nah, dude. Like, you are who you are. And it's fine. And I know you're on your journey, but I can't remind you where Afghanistan is on the map multiple times. That's not gonna work for me. And like, I know you don't know what a map is. Besides, yeah, you're just like we're just gonna move on, and that's what healthy dating is supposed to be. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.